right, everyone, welcome back. We have Chuck Clark available for you. Just as a reminder, please state your name and affiliation before you ask your question, and we'll open it up.
Chuck, this is Jeff Zrebeck from The Athletic. You guys are a defense that prides itself on not giving up a whole lot of big plays. I'm sure you've watched that tape from last year. Is that almost reached the painful stage for you guys? And I know there's some different players on that team, but when you look at that tape, is it hard to kind of identify the Ravens defense?
Definitely, we all watch it on our own, watch it together, when plays pull up, hop up, you know what I'm saying? We learn how to get better from that and move forward. So, that's definitely the goal, eliminate big plays, any team that you go out there and play against.
Hey Chuck, Daniel Ifusi from the Baltimore Sun. I know last year when you guys played them, there were some big plays, and early on in the season, I guess you guys struggled with some bust and coverage. Just what has been the key to the turnaround? I guess since that, around that time last year, where you guys have been really shutting down the big plays.
I think the main thing for us when we went out there is just communicating together on the field, and then ultimately doing it. Communication is the first step, and once we get that together and we all know how each other plays and how we work together on the field, we was all right.
Hey Chuck, Todd Carpich from SI. What is your strategy when you have a quarterback like Mahomes that can sort of make freelance, make plays? He's sort of hard to read. He improvises a lot. He scribbles out of the pocket. What is your strategy against a quarterback like that, where you can watch as much film as you want, but you really don't know what he's going to do? Because it's sort of spontaneous, sort of like Lamar.
Yeah, you just got to do your job in the defense and, do your job at the end of the day. That's all you can ask for. And that falls back on what I just kind of said, the communication and knowing how each other plays out there on the field, and then it'll all work out.
Hey, Chuck, Pete Cooper here, WBAL. As watching what Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey have become and just exceptional corners, what does that free you up to do? How does that help you play safety?
Man, first shout out to MP. Got 30 career picks, but both of those guys out there, in the course of a game, we got to throw Marlon in a nickel, move him around. That shows his versatility. And MP, big playmaker on the ball, and causes turnovers. Those guys, they free up a lot for us, honestly.
Hey Chuck, it's Kirk McEwen from 98 Rock. Watching this team the first couple of games, the speed jumps out at you. More speed than the Chiefs saw last year. How eager are you guys to get on the field and show the Chiefs this isn't the team that they saw last year, even though you guys were 14-2?
We definitely want to go out there and win and do our job. It's because it's the next game, so we trying to get another win on our belt. It's the next week, next football game. So, we always going to be eager and ready to go.
Jimena Lugo La Torre from Ravens Spanish Radio. Chuck, what is the hardest thing to defend against the Chiefs?
The hardest thing to defend against the Chiefs is us ourselves. We as long as we on the same page doing our thing, then we be all right. But credit to them, they got a bunch of good players on that side too. So we got to line up and we got to compete and go battle with those guys.
Chuck, Dave Ginsburg with the Associated Press. I know you say it's one game at a time, but do you not perceive this to be maybe a statement game? You guys playing at home, defending champs Monday night, two best teams in the league.
It's one game at a time. Honestly, every game is a statement game. That's because it's that week. You're not guaranteed the next week. You only guaranteed the day that you out there on the field. So every game can be just a statement game.
Hey, Chuck, Kevin Richardson with the Baltimore Sun. When we talked to Marlon yesterday, he talked about not having the fans in the stands allow him to hear a lot of the calls. Do you think that's an advantage for the defense, not being able to hear a lot of the signals from the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, it definitely helps. It helps out both sides, Offensive players, they can communicate and talk efficiently, on the same page. Defense, same. So, it definitely kind of helps. You can hear everything a lot clearer.
Hey, Chuck, this is Jonas Safe with the Baltimore Sun. Lamar and John Harbaugh said you guys haven't had a meeting yet, but when you look back at the meeting that you had in August, one of the first things that you guys were hoping for was to have the cops who were involved in the Breonna Taylor shooting arrested. After yesterday, with the grand jury not pressing charges, how are you feeling?
We haven't talked about it as a team yet, but personally, I mean, it sucks, because as a team, that was one of the first things that we put out as our mission statement, to have those cops arrested, and just to hear the verdict that came down from that, and there's there's no justice to it. It's almost like we, and when I say we, not just the Ravens, I'm talking about everybody across the country. It's almost as if we let her down in that situation. For somebody to be in their house sleep, and for that to happen to them unarmed, it's as if we let her down in that situation. And my prayers go out to her family, and just dealing with that and hearing that yesterday.
We'll do a couple more questions for Chuck.
Hey, Chuck, Pete Gilbert here again. Travis Kelce, he plays in a lot of ways like a wide receiver, but he's also still big and can be pretty physical too. Is he, as far as tight ends that you have to deal with, where does he rank, and what makes him specifically so challenging?
He's the best in the game right now. One of the best in the game. And he can do it all. He can run routes. He's savvy route runner, catch the ball, yards after the catch. He does it all. So that's what makes him one of the best in the game right now.
Any last questions? All right. Thank you so much, Chuck, for being here today. We really appreciate it. And to the media, that concludes our availability for today, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.